have a friend that when we talk on the phone, an hour minimum, you know what I mean? That's just starting.
Minimum.
So if I know, and we don't talk every day, but when we talk, Nicole, we talk all like for a long time.
They even lose immunity. People get sick. They talk so
literally we talk till our throat hurts.
No.
Welcome, to Tea Time with the O'Daras. 2022, we're amped. Okay, we're amped. You know how you begin with heat? Hopefully we'll keep it up. Anyways, I'm Phoebe.
And I'm Paul.
Today we're going to talk about managing your time effectively. Number one point, what is your time worth? Not understanding what your time is worth will have you saying yes to things and not realizing that when you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. So you have to weigh, what is my time worth? Is what I'm saying yes to worth the no that I'm going to say? Maybe you're saying yes to everybody else and you're neglecting your kids. Maybe you're saying yes to everybody else, you're neglecting your health, your mental health. You're neglecting your work, you're neglecting your schoolwork. You're neglecting your spouse. Is it worth it to say yes to other people when you don't realize what your time is worth? When you understand what your time is worth, you know, hey, if this person, every time this person calls, we have a whole hour conversation and I don't have an hour.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
So understanding what your time is worth is going, hey, I need to talk to this person on Sundays when I don't have much going on. So understanding what your time is worth is key to time management.
I'd say a hack actually that I found was just planning your day the night before. Not 10 days, just doing that has helped me effectively be very effective at work in just accomplishing things around the house. So just that simple thing where the night before you're just like, okay, what really needs to get done? Yeah. So that even when you have little time frames where you feel like you could be wasting, now you already have a plan in your head that was brewing. Oh, I can do this part. I can start this. I can do that. Yeah.
And you can review your list. The next point is being present at all times. Most of the time, you'll find people will always be thinking about the next thing. You're here with somebody else and you're on the phone with somebody else texting. You're here with your children, but you're thinking about all the other things that you need to get done. You're on a date night with your husband, but you're worried about your children. You're doing homework, but you're worried about tomorrow. And so you're never really present. So you're never really effectively managing your time. You're never getting much accomplished. You end up wasting a lot of time and you're not finishing what you needed to finish.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
So for like moms, for instance, for me, I'd say when I leave my kids, I leave them in a safe situation. I know that they're safe and I have my phone on, obviously, if they call, but I'm not thinking about them because I am not right now. I need to be present in whatever caused me to have a babysitter in the first place to go and do what I needed to do. And when you do that, you find when you're present at everything, you find that your time, you value your time. You find that you're happier because when you're not happy, you tend to drag on things that don't matter. So being present at all times is important.
I think that's something that, I definitely learned more from you is that it actually, even being present in, let's talk about even work, being present there in that meeting, you can actually engage and get more out of it where you don't have to repeat the work over and over again. So just being there with your kid at that time, being present, you get to learn the mannerisms of something that you don't have to keep going over and over, and you can find better ways to even help them. So.
Yeah. And when you're doing your list, do your list based on rank of importance. I think you can have, like I used to have my list and I used to be like, wash dishes. Of course I'm going to wash dishes. I don't need that on a freaking list. I can see it in front of me. I need to do things that are going to produce what I'm trying to accomplish. There's things that are very important for me. Like for me, first thing is reading the Bible. When I center myself and I read the Bible in the morning, it sets the tone for my whole day, my perspective, what I care about, things that I do for that day. Another thing for me is what am I going to do for my husband that's special? Like even if it's just warming food for him, oiling his hair, something that's nice. For my children, what are my kids, for me, like during the week, my husband and every Sunday, we kind of talk about what's going on with our kids. And then we figure out what do they need that week to help them be better, to feel more loved, to feel appreciated, to be equipped for whatever it is that they need to be equipped for. Yeah. So having those important lists. And for me, starting a business soon.
Mhm.
So that would be on my list. Like, what do I need to do for my business that day? And then I have that list of important things. I don't need to put shower. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people have a lot of lists that are getting them nowhere. The list doesn't even make sense.
I think that's the hardest thing to do. It's making sure you rank them and actually do them in that order. It's so easy to where we want to just take the easiest thing and finish it. But
don't put easy things.
That is actually a hard thing to do.
You don't need to shower. You don't need to put brushing your teeth. You got that packed, okay? Or maybe I hope so. So one other thing for effective time management is manage your distractions ahead of time. Earlier, I talked about how that when you talk to this person, like I have a friend that when we talk on the phone, an hour minimum, you know what I mean? That's just starting.
Minimum.
So if I know, and we don't talk every day, but when we talk, Nicole, we talk all like for a long time.
They even lose immunity. People get sick. They talk so
literally, we talk till our throat hurts.
No.
Like, we need to go to the hospital after. Just kidding. But legit, like our throat hurts when we're done talking because we're talking for hours. And granted, we talk like once a week, so it's like we need to recap the whole week.
There are backstories of backstories of backstories.
Yes, so manage your distractions. Like my bestie is not a distraction, but I need to know that, hey, I need to get this done. So like I'll text her like, hey, let me just call you when I have this time so we can really lay it out. So those are the little things that you need to know. Like if you're going to be in social media, okay, we moved on. If we're going to be in social media all day, like don't click on the app because it's going to distract you. Yeah. So it's important for you to manage your time. And then look at how you're managing your time currently. Take a survey of where's your time going? Because me and my brother did this exercise. He's like, I don't have time. And I was like, okay, let's examine 24 hours. Yeah. Let's multiply that by 7 days. And then let's take 8 hours of sleeping, 8 hours of working, 8 hours of homework. And we just did exaggeratory numbers that ended up not being that hard. Do you see what I'm saying? So we ended up realizing like, hey, you actually have time. In fact, not only do you not have time, in a week, you have like 30 hours where you do absolutely nothing. So you do have time. And we have accounted for 8 hours of miscellaneous things. So it's not like this is all you do. Is because I don't believe in hustle culture. Yeah. It doesn't bring good out of anything. You know what I'm saying? So you do need time for rest. Rest is just as imperative, if not more, than work. Because how you rest determines how well you work and how you show up. So look at where your time is going.
Yeah. And just simplify your life. Make things simple. I think sometimes with, like she said, hustle culture, everybody just wants to be busy. No, sometimes you just need to do 3 things. Yeah. And that's it.
And do it well.
Not 10. That was hard for me because I like to just try to knock out as many things as possible. But just making sure these are the 3 most important things, get those done.
Yeah. And simplifying your life, like for a mom, for me, I have 3 girls, 3 children, and my husband that I need to make appointments for. My child, but you get it. My husband, I make appointments for them. So sometimes what I'll do is that I'll have a daily list, okay? So every day I have things that I need to do, and I do my biggest things. You know what I mean? This is huge. We need to talk about this. The 80-20 rule. Yeah. So most people don't realize 20% of what you do accounts for 80% of the results in your life. So you need to figure out what is your 20%. What is your 20% that's going to give you 80% of the results that you want? So for me, like I said, having my daily devotion is huge for my 80% of the results that I have. Yeah. Because if I don't do devotion, I'm not showing up with a good attitude. I'm not as organized as I can be. Things are affecting me a little bit more. So devotion and prayer is important for me. Very exercise. Important. I have energy for my children. I have energy for myself. I feel good, healthy. Doing something for my children, I feel wonderful when I'm a good mother. I feel wonderful when I'm a good wife. So I want to pour into the people that I love. And then I have is there a friend that I need to check on maybe this week? You know what I mean? Because you don't have time every day to do that. But maybe once a week, you're like, hey, I need to check on this friend. So I have another list for the week where that list will be like, I need to make appointments for the dentist appointment for this child and this child. I need to do this for this child and this husband and this husband, my husband. You know what I mean? I need to make the appointments. Yeah. So I have it on my weekly so that I don't feel like every day I have to have it. And then when I don't get it done, I feel bad. No, I just look at my day and go, let me see on the weekly what I can remove since I have a little bit of time here. It can look different for you. So once you have that weekly list, you can take it off and go, oh, you know what? I have an hour here. Let me just call my aunt, my grandma, and see how she's doing. I have an hour here. Maybe I can try that lunch spot that I've always wanted to try. And I had that on my list because I want to do more things for myself.
Yeah.
You know, so don't be ashamed if self-care has to be on your list. Like you have to
That's
remind
big.
yourself
That's big.
to treat yourself. You know what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
have to remind yourself to exercise and all those
Correct.
things. I put silly things that I've done for years on my list. Like I always pray every day, but I'm gonna put it on my list because it just reminds me, and it also reminds me what's important for me. And
Mhm.
I have those 3 things that I must do every day to have to feel good and to know that I'm managing my
Right.
time effectively. So look at time as the currency, you know, in your life.
Mhm.
Like, what are you paying for, and is it worth it?
Yeah.
And once you do that, I feel like when you respect yourself, you respect your time, and you respect other people's time, and you end up having, you know, better results. So, like, comment, subscribe.
Yep.
See you later. Bye.
Tell your friends and your enemies too.
Yes.